The story begins in 1945, in New York City, with the lavish wedding of Connie Corleone, the daughter of Vito Corleone, also known as the Godfather. The Corleone family is one of the most powerful organized crime families in the city, respected and feared in equal measure. According to Sicilian tradition, no request made to the Godfather on the day of a wedding is ever refused. People come from all over seeking favors, assistance, or protection, each showing the reach and influence of Vito's power. Among the guests is Johnny Fontane, a famous singer and Vito's godson. Johnny hopes to secure a leading role in a Hollywood film, which could revive his fading career. Vito, though frail and careful, agrees to help. He tasks Tom Hagen, the family's adopted son and consigliere, to negotiate with the studio executives. Tom's calm demeanor and legal acumen contrast sharply with the subtle intimidation that underlies his negotiation, showing how the Corleones wield influence both legally and through fear. Meanwhile, the family faces growing threats from other criminal organizations. Virgil, the Turk Sollozzo, a rising drug dealer, approaches Vito with a business proposition. He wants the Corleone family to lend their political connections and muscle to help him distribute narcotics. Vito refuses, understanding that drugs would tarnish the family's reputation and bring law enforcement scrutiny, which could jeopardize their long-established power. This refusal sets the stage for violent conflict. Tensions escalate when Vito is ambushed and shot multiple times in front of his home. The attack leaves him gravely wounded and hospitalized. With the family shaken, the responsibility of leadership begins to shift. Sonny Corleone, the hot-headed eldest son, assumes temporary control, reacting with anger and aggression toward rivals. Meanwhile, Michael, the youngest son, who has been deliberately keeping his distance from the family's criminal dealings, is pulled into the violent. Michael Corleone arrives in Sicily, seeking refuge from the fallout of his killing of Sollozzo and Captain McCluskey. Sicily is a land of traditions, honor, and hidden dangers, and Michael quickly learns that even in exile, he must navigate a world governed by strict codes. He is taken in by a local family loyal to the Corleones, who shelter him and help him adapt to life in a foreign land. While there, Michael begins to understand the harsh realities of the criminal and political world, realizing that survival requires both caution and decisiveness. During his stay, Michael meets Apollonia Vitelli, a young Sicilian woman. Their relationship grows quietly at first, nurtured by the tranquility of rural life and the distance from the violent world Michael has left behind. Michael experiences moments of peace and even happiness, finding in Apollonia a sense of belonging and love that contrasts sharply with the turmoil he left in New York. Eventually, they marry in a traditional Sicilian ceremony, binding Michael further to the land and its customs. However, this fragile happiness is shattered when Apollonia is killed in a car bomb intended for Michael, a tragic event orchestrated by his enemies back in New York. Her death marks a turning point for Michael, hardening him and stripping away the last vestiges of innocence he had retained. Back in New York, the Corleone family faces mounting challenges. With Vito Corleone still recovering from his assassination attempt, Sonny's impulsive temper and violent tactics lead to both small victories and costly mistakes. Rival families see an opportunity to strike, and the streets become a battleground of betrayals, ambushes, and strategic maneuvering. The family's criminal empire teeters under the pressure, forcing its leaders to act decisively to maintain control. Meanwhile, Michael's older brother, Fredo, and his adopted brother, Tom Hagen, work to stabilize the family operations. Tom handles negotiations and legal matters. Back in New York, the Corleone family faces a turbulent period. Vito Corleone, though recovering from the assassination attempt, senses the changing dynamics of the criminal world. His age and health remind him that leadership will soon need to pass to the next generation. Vito advises Michael to act strategically, to consolidate the family's power while minimizing unnecessary risks. His guidance is measured, emphasizing patience, foresight, and subtle influence over rash aggression. Michael begins to step fully into the role of leader. He balances legitimate business ventures with the clandestine operations of the family, carefully planning his moves against rival families. His strategic mind becomes evident as he orchestrates alliances, manipulates opponents, and positions the Corleones to regain dominance in New York. Unlike Sonny, whose leadership relied on impulsive aggression, Michael's approach is calculated, demonstrating both cunning and ruthlessness. The family's enemies, sensing a shift in power, escalate their attacks. Corleone associates and allies are targeted, and betrayal emerges from unexpected quarters. Michael responds with precision, eliminating threats with cold efficiency. The most infamous of these actions occurs during the baptism of Michael's nephew. While standing as Godfather in the church, Michael has a coordinated series of assassinations carried out, simultaneously eliminating the heads of rival families and key traitors within their ranks. This juxtaposition of sacred ritual and brutal violence demonstrates Michael's transformation. He is now a leader who blends the outward appearance of respectability with the hidden mechanisms of ruthless power. Vito Corleone passes away quietly at home, watching his grandson play in the garden. His death marks the symbolic end of an era, the gentle yet firm rule that balanced fear with respect. With Vito gone, Michael assumes complete control over the family empire. He consolidates power decisively. With Vito Corleone gone, Michael Corleone stands as the undisputed head of the Corleone family. His transformation from a reluctant outsider to a ruthless leader is complete. Every decision, every action, is calculated to protect and expand the family empire. He consolidates control over the family's operations, ensuring that rivals are neutralized, allies are secured, and the Corleone influence dominates both the underworld and the legitimate business world. Michael's methods are precise and merciless. The aftermath of the baptism murders has left no doubt among his enemies and associates that the new Godfather is both intelligent and unforgiving. His leadership style is a combination of strategic brilliance and cold-blooded efficiency, a stark contrast to the impulsive nature of Sonny or the subtle diplomacy of Vito. Michael now embodies the ultimate authority in the family, commanding loyalty through respect, fear, and the inevitability of retribution. However, Michael's rise comes at great personal cost. His relationship with Kay Adams deteriorates as the reality of his actions becomes impossible to hide. In a final confrontation, Kay asks Michael whether he has been involved in the murders, seeking truth and accountability. Michael denies everything, telling her that nothing has happened. This lie signifies the moral chasm that has developed between them, emphasizing the isolation and sacrifices inherent in his role as Godfather. The story closes with Michael fully assuming the mantle of leadership, yet at a profound emotional cost. The Corleone family thrives, their power solidified, but Michael is now isolated, morally compromised, and burdened by the weight of the empire he commands. The door closes on Kay as she recognizes the true nature of the man she loves, leaving Michael alone in the solemn authority of his office. The final image is one of chilling triumph. The Godfather has preserved his family and secured his power, but the price is his humanity.